Shwmai, croeso, hello and welcome to the Bluebirds Nest, Neath yr Adair Gleision. A special offer reminder from our sponsors to begin with then, dragonbet.co.uk. There is a proud to be Welsh day of jump racing at Force Last Racecourse on Sunday the 5th of March. Dragonbet are really keen to give away some tickets to Haverfordwest County supporters alongside a free £20 dragonbet.co.uk bet and access to the lounge there at Force Last. So if you haven't already, signed up to the website and get in touch with them across their social media to find out some more. From a club perspective, please gamble aware, please gamble responsibly. Now then, episode 24 of the Bluebirds Nest. Delighted to welcome our January deadline day signing, Mr. Jack Leahy. Jack, welcome.
Thank you for having me on.
No, well, it's great to have you on and to hopefully find out some more about you and the career path to date and what's brought you to Pembrokeshire. Like I said, you've signed on loan then until the end of the season from Cardiff City. Many supporters have been asking about you and sort of, where have you been, where have you come from, that sort of career to date. So let's go back 18 months. You signed your first professional contract with Cardiff, having been with Brighton for a number of years. I'm assuming, we haven't even discussed it, I'm assuming that you must have been striving for that pro contract for a period of time. So how did the move to Cardiff come about, Jack?
So originally I got let go by Brighton, I think it was about February time, 2021. And then I actually struggled with a stress fracture in my foot, which left me out of playing for a few months. Managed to get that sorted. Then I was on a trial game playing for Charlton against Cardiff. Kev Vidal was there watching, the head of recruitment at Cardiff. And they wanted me in immediately. Obviously, Steve Morrison was the under-21 freeze gaffer at the time. Yeah, he really liked me. Me and Maura got on well. And yeah, been there ever since.
Fantastic. It's funny how things work out like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Football? Well, you certainly made a quick impact because, the club received a lot of positive messages, particularly from Cardiff City fans across social media when your move to us in January was announced. It seems you're a bit of a fan favourite up in Cardiff in the capital. Probably down to your last-minute heroics in October, where obviously in the South Wales derby at the under-23s, Cardiff versus Swansea, it was 3-3 going into injury time, I think. And you've just stepped up and bent the 25-yarder into the top corner. So that must have been a good feeling, taking the bragging rights to the capital. What was that like then, scoring the winner that day?
I mean, it was obviously amazing, do you know what I mean? But I think you don't have to be from Wales to understand how big the South Wales derby is. Do you know what I mean? So I think for me to score that winner, all the Cardiff lads especially was very happy with that. Me as well, because, I mean, it was a decent goal. And yeah, it was just a really good moment for me in my career as well. Got quite a lot of exposure from it. Yeah, made everyone happy all around. Coaches, players, myself.
I can imagine that must have been some feeling, to be fair.
Yeah.
You've come in then, straight into it, I suppose. You've played twice already since joining. There's only been 2 games, so obviously the manager Tony Panic has put you straight into the mix. You've started in midfield both occasions. How have you found the Cymru Premier League, and did you know much about it before you came?
Well, I didn't really know too much about it at first. I mean, obviously, I knew about TNS because they've played in the Europa League. Yeah. But once Gav Chesterfield, the academy manager at Cardiff, sat down with me and explained to me how it's a tactical league, very physical, I was very intrigued to go. Obviously, I spoke with Tony on the phone. I like the way that you guys play down at Haverfordwest. Possession-based football, like to play forwards. And yeah, Tony's a nice guy as well, really nice guy. So, I mean, it was an opportunity that I couldn't turn down.
Well, it's been great having you sort of come in. And like I said, social media was there was a couple of rumours, should we say, over a number of weeks, but straight into it. It is a physical league. It is a very tactical league, and going into sort of this second half of the season where there is a lot to play for. How have you found it? Obviously, we played at Carnarvon away on a grass pitch, one of only 3 in the league, and then your home debut just now this weekend gone by. How have you found it on the pitch?
I think the first game against Carnarvon was a bit difficult because everything was long ball, and I've been in the academy for many years. I think this is my 8th season in academy football. I've never really come across a team that likes to play with a ball in the air as much as that. So it took a bit of time getting used to. But going into Saturday just gone, the Flint game, I was expecting it. If at times it might get like that, do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was just one of them things where now I know I can add it to my list and say I can play against teams that play long ball. I can play against teams that play possession ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, exciting stuff going forward, and we'll talk about what the short-term future holds. But you've had a couple of chances as well. I think particularly the out of the box strike you had on the weekend early into the game set up. The keeper obviously parried it, and Abu swept it up. You must be looking forward to opening your account for the club.
Yeah, I mean, I need to get some goals under my belt. I think that's probably the most important thing for me is affecting games, whether that is with a goals or assists. So, I mean, as soon as that ball came across to me, I just thought I'm going to have a strike here. And the keeper parried it and Ab scored, which was good.
What did you think of the surface at the Oggy Bridge Meadow?
Oh, it's compared to the Carnarvon pitch, it's a good pitch. I mean, especially this time of year as well. It's a good pitch. Yeah, I enjoyed playing it. It was quite big as well. I like big pitches. So yeah, enjoyed it.
It did look good on the weekend, to be fair. The ground staff, credit to them. They've worked hard for a number of weeks now. And like you say, this time of year, we've had a lot of, frost and a lot of rainfall as well. So it was looking really good on the weekend. So credit to them. But looking slightly to the future then, your Cardiff team in that derby that we spoke about had former Haverfordwest keeper Matt Turner in the sticks. There was also Tom Davis, I believe, in the squad, the matchday squad that day. Both of those players sealed loan moves to the Cymru Premier in January as well. Tom, who obviously signed for Pontypridd, he managed to score on the weekend against Matt Turner up at Aber. From the highlights and from social media, it seems it was a bit of a crazy game up there. But the short term, then, we've obviously got Ponty this weekend and Aber in a few weeks. Any sort of bit of WhatsApp messages flying back and forth already?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going down in the changing room. I know Tom and Matt was giving each other a bit of stick before the game.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt didn't come in today after Tom scored.
Oh.
So that was a bit tough for him. But yeah, I'm excited to play against both of them, and certainly don't want to lose to him either. So
yeah, I can imagine. But yeah, obviously Ponty this weekend and Aber in a few weeks. Hopefully we can get a couple of goals against both those teams. Couple of quick fire questions for you now then, and it's always one, and a lot of supporters near the dressing room at the Oggy Bridge Meadow always comment, what on earth is that racket coming from the changing rooms? I think it's a new generation of music coming through now. But if in time you were put in charge of the music in the dressing room, what would be on there for you?
Well, whoever was playing the music on Saturday done a great job, because all I like before a game is house music.
Yeah.
So I like a lot of house music. So before a game, that is what I'd listen to. It just gets me in a good mood, I don't want nothing too serious. I don't want to go out there trying to kill anyone, or I'd rather go out there and have a good time.
I think it's Forsey in charge of the dressing room, but yeah, there was a couple of comments on the weekend. I wonder what they were listening to there. Okay. Question now then about your dream sit-down date. I say a date. Who would you like to sit down with and have a meal? They can be dead or alive. Any sort of background. It could be family. It could be sports star, movie star. Who would that person be?
It would have to be between two, and that's obviously Cristiano Ronaldo. I think everyone's probably said Ronaldo.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't Ronaldo, it'd have to be Tyson Fury, because I like the way that he's got knocked down in life, lowest point, worked his way back up from knockdowns. And I think for any sports person, not even just sports person, anyone in life really, just good motivation. If anything bad happens, just keep working hard, keep going.
Yeah, no, he's a character, to say the least. I've not long finished his book, and yeah, from where he was at with his mental health, with his physical health at some stages a couple of years ago, to where he is now is incredible. So yeah. I'll pass on the Ronaldo one, being a Man City fan, but I'll certainly agree with the Tyson Fury. He'd be a good day to meet. Okay, then your pre-match superstitions. Anything you always seem to do?
I don't have any superstitions. I just feel like I need to go out there and just relax and just have fun. Really, I feel like when I get worked up too much is when I start stressing. But when I'm just out there, just enjoying it, that's when everything starts to go right for me.
Yeah,
so I don't really have any superstitions.
Okay, well, I think that's a good thing. The amount of superstitions in that dressing room at the moment is, saying that, Devs, the goalkeeper coach, is probably got the most bizarre ones, but we won't go into those. When we spoke to him earlier in the season, they were some shockers there. But we discussed the Derby Day winner then, and obviously that is probably one of the standout moments to date. Any others over that period, perhaps with Brighton or any other clubs that stand out for you?
When I was 16, I made my under-23s debut at Brighton. I played the full game, got an assist in that game as well. That was a good career highlight for me. But also, I started the first game with the first team in pre-season. So that was a big change for me, especially the tempo and physicality and stuff like that. So it's got to be between them two.
Okay. Where was the first team game, Jack?
We played at home against Cambridge United. Yeah.
Well, fingers crossed. Not too soon. You can stay with us for a little bit, but in the future you can make a couple of more first team appearances then.
Hopefully, yeah.
This final question on that. So looking towards the next few months in particular, obviously the club have high hopes of finishing in that 7th spot, which would obviously take us into the European playoffs, which, I'm sure when you mentioned Gavin Chesterfield explained the situation with the leagues and things like that, it's a huge opportunity for clubs in Wales to get that lucrative European playoff place. Obviously against 3 teams who are currently competing in the top 6 of the league. So there's certainly 8 games in the league to go. Fingers crossed there's 1 or 2 more after that too in the playoffs. But what are your hopes and what impact are you looking to make at the club?
I think that's exactly it, to try and get into the European playoffs, and just for me to do my part, really, try and score, get assists, create chances, and then to go back to Cardiff, first of all, gaining first team experience and gaining what it's like to play in a physical league.
Excellent. Well, as I mentioned then, Pontypridd United away this weekend. Kick-off at 2:30 at USW Park there in Treforest. There is a supporters bus heading up the M4, so looking forward to another noisy away support at Pontypridd then this weekend. Fingers crossed for our first away points of Phase 2. Jack, really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy man, obviously with training with Cardiff in the week and with Haverfordwest. Good luck for the rest of the season whilst you're with us. A couple of goals like that one in the South Wales Derby, please. Sooner the better. But no, again, thank you, and look forward to seeing you this weekend in Pontypridd.
Thanks, Ryan.